everybody, I'm KK.
I'm Kristen.
Together we are
KK Crochet.
Welcome in. Today we're going to discuss a few things that have to do with crochet hats. We're going to show some that we've been making. We're going to talk about some other patterns that we've seen. We're going to talk about one that I came up with, and we're going to talk about Bumblebee's Mountain Outreach and what's going on and where we stand. So first of all, this first hat is by Spring the Fiber Enthusiast. I did it in this colorway because it's Halloween, right? Coming very soon. So I thought this would be a cute colorway. Plus I had scraps. This was a scrap ball and I wanted to use it to make a hat because I knew I didn't have enough to do much else with it. And this is actually a reversible hat. You have it this way, and then if you turn it, her pattern makes the hat reversible. So if you turn it the other way, then you get a different look. Your lines through there are closer together. So I really like that one. And that's Spring the Fiber Enthusiast, and it's called New Ground, and I'll link that down below. This one is one I was just playing around with. This was again some yarn that wasn't necessarily scrap, but I had it laying there, and so I did the basic increase for the hat at the top. I did 3 rows of half double crochet in the third loop, then I did a few more rows of double crochet, and then I had been wanting to try, I think they call that the camel stitch, or no, it's a slip stitch across there, so it makes a braided look. And then I did another row of double crochet and a couple of rounds of front post, back post double crochet. It's just playing with stitches. You can always create hats just playing with stitches. So there's that one. This again is that yarn, the rest of the Halloween colored yarn that I had. I call it Halloween colored, that's what it looks like to me. And I ran out right at the black, so I had some orange also in a scrap ball, and so I picked that up to finish it because Halloween, and I thought that was cute. I wouldn't wear that, but somebody might, and I kind of like the way the colors play out. Kids would like that colorway, I think.
Yes, of
And
course.
then these are Kristen's. I'll let her show you those.
You want to show your other two first?
Nope, go ahead.
Okay. I did some work on my Centro. It was a gift with no ball bands, so it's baby yarn. And then here's another one.
Very pretty.
Also no ball band.
And so this one was one that I was playing around one night with stitches, and I just made it up. And I posted it on the Facebook group, and one of you lovely people made me feel so wonderful because you said, "Is there a pattern for that?" And I thought, that's funny because I'm not a pattern designer, but I was happy to share the way I made it so somebody else could make it, because that meant she appreciated what I did. And that made me feel good, right? We always feel good when people appreciate what we did. So it's basic increases, and then it was 4 rows, I believe. I'm not real sure. I wrote it down on the Facebook group, so if you go over there, the pattern's written down over there. But I think it's 4 rows of half double crochet in the third loop. No, I'm wrong. It's the basic increases, a row of single crochets, a row of half double crochets, 3 rows of half double crochet in the third loop, then a row of double crochets, a row of half double crochets again, and then 3 more rows of half double crochet in the third loop, and then front post, back post the rest of the way, or a row of double crochets and front post, back post the rest of the way. Yeah. So
Very
anyway,
pretty.
it's written down on the Facebook group, and this is mandala. I can't remember the colorway. Anyway, it's one that I had, somebody had donated, and to me, a friend had given it to me because their daughter, I think, had started crocheting and decided she didn't like it, so I had never used it, so I worked it up into a hat. I really liked the colors, and I actually used this for 2 cows. I used this for Litsa's Crochet Through the Decades cow. She's doing a decade every month, and so each month you're supposed to pick something that reminds you of the decade, and pastels were popular during the 1950s, so this was for the 1950s. I really don't think it's not really pastel-y. Kind of, I don't know, but that's what I used it for. And then I also used it for Lisa at Happy to Hook Creations for her greeting card crochet along, because she had a greeting card with a butterfly that had a lot of these colors in it, so I used it for both of those. So I'm triple dipping. I have both those cows, and this is a BMO hat for our charity to be donated. And then with the rest of that, I made another one, and I think I might have varied how many rows of the half double crochet in a third loop I did, but that's what makes the V stitches across through there like that. But I really like that, and that's the rest of that yarn. and I think there might have been very little left, and it was mainly the green color, and I wasn't thrilled with it. So yeah, so that's what we did for what we've done, for BMO. So let's talk a little bit about BMO, what it is, why we do it, and why you might like to contribute, what this is back here. So BMO is Bumblebee's Mountain Outreach. It is our outreach that we created. It is not a physical building. It is not a physical place. We do not offer counseling or anything like that. I always feel the need to say those types of things because it is sometimes, you don't know about it, and so if you don't know, then you don't know. So I try to tell people what it is. So one of the things with Bumblebee's Mountain Outreach, it's in memory of my brother who in 2016 lost his battle with mental health. We were not aware he had a battle with mental health. Even though I personally had issues in the past, I was not aware he did. We were not a family who communicated very much with each other about personal issues. It's just the way we were. It's the way, I think, during that time frame when we were brought up, that people are brought up, right? It is what it is. So, so we try to make something good out of something bad. Okay, we try to take what he did and turn it around. He was a Baptist minister for decades. So we don't want what he did to be in vain. We don't want all the work that he did to not have some kind of purpose. And I know it has purpose because of what God used it for, but we want to continue on and to use his life as a way to help others. So our message is a message of kindness and peace and hope and love. And so we make hats and collect hats so that we can donate them in our community to people in need. Now, they don't have to show proof of income or proof of need. We just hand hats out. One of the ways we do that is we go to Christmas parades and drive through the parades and throw the hats out, and we immensely enjoy that time together. So one of the other things we do is donate to local organizations here who have quick access to people who are in need and who will help. Now, we do work with some of the school systems to provide hats, but that being said, we are no longer in need of children's hats, and we try to focus on mainly adult hats every year. And the reason we have kind of moved away from children's hats, now if you've sent some, we will use them. Don't think we won't, and if we'll find a place for them, because I do have certain areas that we can give those out, but there are limits as far as when you think about adults and children's hats. There's really not that much difference, and I know this because Kristen and I created crocheted hats one time for a kindergarten class, and she's going to tell you more about that.
Me?
Yeah, I threw it at her because I need to look something up. So you
okay. So, Mom was actually working with the students and measured their heads, and it all ended up being between 19 and 22 inches.
Mm-hmm.
My head, I think, is 24, and mine's 26, and I have a bigger head because I have thick hair, and so if there's not that much of a difference, an adult hat will fit these children. It might be a bit big, but they'll have it and grow into it.
Okay, so I'm using the Crochet Crowds measurement chart. That's what I wanted to look up, because this is what I always used to use when I was measuring hats to make for people. And so here's what I'm finding. So it says children's heads usually measure 19 to 20 inches. Most of the measurements I was getting was anywhere from 18.5 to 21. An adult large is 22 inches, so you're only talking about an inch difference. If you're making a ribbed beanie or putting the front post, back post double crochet around it, it stretches and will stretch to fit an adult, but will still be small enough for a child most likely. So when it talks about hat crown size, like up here, how big it's supposed to be, for a child, which is above a toddler but not an adult small, for a child it's 6.25 to 6.5 inches. For a large adult, it's 7.5 to 8 inches. So you're talking about an inch to an inch and a half difference here, okay? So all that's going to do is make it a little bigger or slouchier up here for a child. So if I have a child who has a bigger head than 20 inches, like say 20 to 21, then it suggests you go up to a 7-inch crown. The largest adult crown it suggests is 7.5 to 8 inches. You're talking about an 1.5 inch difference for a child with a larger head. It's not going to be that much difference because it's circumference, so it's around their head. So an 1.5 inch is going to be 3/4 of an inch on each side. You're talking about just a little bit. It's not that big a deal. And then when you go to the hat size as far as the height of the hat, it says for a child it should be 7.5 to 8 inches, and for an adult, a large adult, 9 to 9.5. But for a medium adult, which is what most of us should be, 22 inches around, there's only an inch difference between what it says is medium to large, whatever. Of course, the hats stretch anyway. So if you're working for that, then you look at the hat. I hit the wrong button. The hat size in circumference, and of course now everything wants to go crazy till I can't see it. There we go. The hat size for the length for a child is up to 8 inches. For an adult, up to 9 to 9.5 inches. So you're talking about an inch difference on the forehead. Again, they would pull it down as far as they need, and it would slouch a little bit. And not only that, you're talking about children who may only get the hat once, and then next year they wouldn't be able to come back to get another one. So that hat's going to grow with them. If they can wear this as a child and it can grow all the way through with them to a teenager, of course they probably won't last that long, right? But if they are taken care of, they might. And also, that child has other siblings, or you throw these out at the parade, and we used to try and separate children and adults, men's and women's. It takes a long time. And then you're on the road trying to figure out and dig through bags and say, oh, that's for children, grab me a child's hat and let's throw it out. And by the time you figured out for that particular person that's standing there, you've got 10 other people that you did not get to throw a hat at because you did not find the particular size that they needed, whether it was men's, women's, children's, boys and girls, men's, women's, whatever. So adults, men, yeah, you know what I'm saying. So you had to look for adult or child, and then men's or women's, and boys or girls. So by the time you do that and you're driving along a route and you have other people behind you and you need to move, it doesn't work. So okay, so for us, for our general purposes, it works better if we have that one basic size hat, like a medium adult to a large adult, and it covers everybody, right? And you throw out the hats and they can use them. Now, we do include a tag with it that says made with love from someone who understands BMO's outreach. And it does say, if you cannot use the hat, please pass it on. But the majority of people that we see and that we donate to are teenagers and adults. There are a few people at the one organization who do like baby shower things, but they do them like once a month or every few months, and they don't have that many people involved as far as people who show up. Like I'm thinking probably less than 10. When I used to do it when I was having kids, and I went like one time, they had like 5 mothers. That was it. So they don't have a huge need for that. And as far as like little children, there, when we do for schools, there's like pre-K, and again, most of them are 3s and 4s, so they may be a little smaller than the ones that are in kindergarten that I was talking about measuring for, but we do have some of those hats already. So if you're still making and sending in, if you've made children's hats, it's fine to send them. But if you are making and trying to prepare and trying to figure out what to do, then you can make the adult hats or the medium adult, whatever, you know, if it fits your head, it's probably good. And if you were thinking more you want to make towards the children, then make that size and you can make it in fun colors or whatever you wanted to do. Of course, we take whatever. I'm just telling you what our need is right now. It's easier for everybody if it is closer to an adult hat. I do have several children's hats already that have been donated, and they will go to the right places. They will probably go to the schools that have pre-K kids, and to some of one of the outreaches particularly that I know that deals with some of the younger kids when they do Christmas outreaches. So I will go through and pull those and do that. But we are so thankful for everybody. We've had a really good response. We're working hard to try and get to the 1,500, which is the goal. And so far, let me give you an update as of today. We have 690. So that means we need 710 hats. So we need 710 people who would send one hat, or about 355 people who will send 2 hats, or whatever, just whatever you can do. 710, then no, 800. Did I say 810?
It's 710.
I'm wrong. It's 810. Whoops. So 405 people who will send 2 hats, or whatever you want to send. Whatever makes you happy. We'll take whatever we can get. What happens if we don't meet 1,500? We just don't support all the organizations that we have in the past. And at this point, at 690, we are close to about half of what we had last year. Last year we had 1,200, which is why the goal was set for 1,500. I don't ever see us going past 1,500 unless we just get more than 1,500 in the future. I don't plan to raise the goal next year, because we're at a comfortable place where we can help those that we know we need to help here, unless there would be something that came up where another organization would approach us and want help. I think 1,500 helps each year to get what we need to get done, and we'll reevaluate, but I think that's where we stand. So we're asking that if you would like to make a hat and send it, please do. With the bees up here on the map, every time somebody from a new person sends in a crocheted hat, they get a bee on their state, just the first time. But then we still do count the hats after that, but you get 1 bee one time, and we are checking to see which state we get the most creators to send a hat from, crafters. So we have a whole bunch over here on the East Coast, and as we go west, our bees just kind of so the bee in the bee colony here is a lot. Over here, not so many. And we have a couple up here, one in Australia, one in England, so also from other countries. So,
and Texas, other than West Virginia, Texas and Illinois are tied with 3.
Yeah, so that means 3 crafters from those areas have sent hats at least one time. So we hope that you will consider donating. There's always a BMO 2024 playlist. There's also an original BMO playlist, and there's a Facebook page for Bumblebee's Mountain Outreach. It's called Bumblebee's Mountain Outreach because my brother's nickname was Bumblebee, and we owned a home together that belonged to my grandparents that was on top of a mountain. Bumblebee's Mountain Outreach, that's how that came to be. So we try to spread kindness and to make people aware that you don't know what anybody's going through. That's why at the end of each video we say be kind, because
you don't know anybody else's journey.
Because we didn't know my brother's journey until it happened. And so it pays to pay attention, to show kindness, to show love. And we also have a homeless population here that we do say make hats acrylic, because we don't know who's homeless and who's not. We don't ask. And this way they can care for it even if they are homeless and take care of their hats. And we do take scarves and gloves and fingerless gloves and mittens and cowls and headbands and all those things that if it'll keep them warm, we accept them. And we do have people here local to us who also donate, so that, and you all who know us from YouTube and from Facebook, and content creators, and all of the different people who subscribe and who watch, all of those are bees that you see, people who have donated, and we are so thankful for that. We truly are. I don't think we realize how truly blessed we are sometimes, and to have the things that we have. You may think it's just a hat, but to some people, just the thought of somebody making something to give them boosts their spirits, lifts their spirits, helps them to be kinder to somebody else, lets them know somebody loves and cares for them. And that's important in the day and age we live in. So it's not just a hat, it is a kind soul, and it is another soul that you are reaching out to let them know they are loved. So help us make a difference, help us be able to keep people warm and let them know they are loved, and to grow Bumblebee's Mountain Outreach so that many, many more people are shown that they are loved, and maybe will choose to make a different choice and to continue to hope for a better day and a better life ahead, and to not make rash decisions based on temporary situations. permanent decisions based on temporary situations never end well. So anyway, that is our Bumblebee Mountain Outreach update. And now we have a question of the day.
What species of trees do not lose their leaves in the fall?
I don't know that one, so I can't even guess. Unless it's... Well, they don't have leaves, though. Never mind. I'm not guessing. I don't know. Don't forget to be kind because...
You don't know anybody else's journey.
Bye.
Bye, guys.